Hello and welcome back. So guys, in this video we're gonna talk about the JSX again, but by now we're gonna discuss about some attributes. So for example, you want to add the ID to any tag in the JSX. What you need to do, all you need to go somewhere like here, and I'm making a new p tag, just an example, and I'm adding some content like this is the paragraph, and I'm saving it, and I'm going to here and I'm adding any space, and now I can add the class, but there is a rule we have to follow. Most of the tags are similar, the attributes I mean are similar as we use them in the general HTML. For example, the title is equal as we do the title in the HTML, so we are doing almost the same, but here I'm adding after the title. If I'm adding the ID, I'm gonna use the same way like here, and here I'm writing para 1. Okay, now if I'm gonna make a new another paragraph, and here I'm going inside and I'm writing something like this is second paragraph. Okay, right here I'm adding class name, N is capital, and here I'm writing para 2, but this para 2 is a class. Now you can notice the difference. For the class, we just cannot use the CLASS. We have to use the camel style, number one, the camel style, and we have to use the class and the name, the class name. And you can see that the N is capital, okay, the class name. In the same way, one more attribute where we have to use something like, for example, we use the when we make a div like that, div, and I'm going here and I'm going inside and I'm writing label, and here I'm writing some data like that, some data, and here I'm going down and I'm writing an input. This is the very general HTML I'm doing, but why I'm telling this, I'm gonna tell you. Here I make an ID, and here in the ID I'm writing input 1, and here name, for example, input 1. Now absolutely I'm gonna call the for attribute here to connect the label with the input. This is what we do generally, but here we cannot just use the for, we have to use the HTML for. This F should be deleted. Now HTML4, this is the way we use here, input 1. Okay, now I think you now understood that the class name, we just cannot use the class, we have to use the class name. We cannot use the for, we have to use the HTML4. And saving, there is something wrong, I can feel. Okay, the problem is because it is not the HTML, so here we have to add the ending tags for almost every tag. We cannot use the empty tag as the way they are. Now it is perfect. Now if I go to the browser, first I need to run the npm, first I need to go to the master react and line break. Now I'm inside the master react. Once I'm in, now I can run the npm start, and it's absolutely gonna start it, so it can take a few seconds. Okay, it's here right now. So once you click here, you can see that you're automatically inside here, but if you click somewhere else, you're not in. But if you click at the label, you're into the input tag, because the for attribute actually connects to the input, and both has the input 1 as a value, so now it's working. But here as we just understood that we need to call the HTML4, and that works perfectly. Now I'm going to the coding panel, which is right here. Now for the other attributes, we do not need to be worried about this thing. We can use simple ways, like if you want to give the width to any attribute, any tag, you can give it like that, 500, and I'm writing something like hello world. Spelling must be clear. Anyway, I should not save it every time because it's gonna process and send the new update to the server. So this thing, okay, it's not taking time a lot, just I'm just saving and it's processing. If you notice this thing, when I save it, it just gives the new result to the server. So that's how awesome. Anyway, here I'm writing something like text after with DTH. I'm just doing this because I just want to check the value. I just want to check the with is actually working. Okay, nothing is visible there. Actually, there are two things I'm doing. Number one, I'm not using the the width tag. Actually, I'm using the width tag. Number one, we was not actually watching the width. We was looking for the height. So there's one thing. The other thing is the height should not be applied to the div tag anyway. It should be on the img tag or etc. But at least the variables are working now. In the next video, we will be talking about how we can apply the style to any div. Actually, we're not going to talk about this style by now. We will be talking, but not by now. But we're going to talk how we can apply the style in the same in the same app.js page, the same file. So let's meet in the next video.